back to another episode of Let's Get Spooky. I'm Leanna Vamp.
And I'm Ashley.
And we are right now in Old Burial Hill Cemetery in Marblehead, Massachusetts. This is our very first on-location show.
Yes.
How do you feel?
I feel like there's bugs crawling on me, but I'm very excited.
There's bugs everywhere. I'm sitting on a rock to elevate myself from the bugs.
Which is why I look very small in comparison.
So if we freak out in the middle of the show, it's probably because we got attacked by a bug, or there's going to be various sounds because we have no control of the environment.
We've got woodpeckers, we've got chainsaw men, we've got
leather faces in the background, we have cicadas, so don't be alarmed by the scary sounds.
It's just nature.
Yes. So on this episode, we are going to be talking about death. Which is pretty appropriate because we're in a cemetery, and we are obviously paying respects to all of the people buried in the cemetery, and we figured it's a beautiful day out. We're going to take a little picnic. We have snacks for later in the cemetery.
They're hiding behind our bums.
Yes, it's going to be very exciting, so I hope you guys are ready. So first up, I guess we can talk about our... You said it earlier when we brought up the topic. You're like, what about our ideal funeral? Like, how would you like...
Because I've thought about it more than my wedding. Because I'm like,
really?
I basically planned my wedding the same as my funeral, and whatever comes first is going to probably be the same. But essentially, like...
Hopefully the funeral doesn't come before the wedding, because that would be unfortunate.
I know. I have low hopes, but high expectations for all things. But I really want everyone to be wearing... black, obviously, at either occasion. I want to be either, I guess...
That would be at your wedding as well.
Yes.
Right?
Pulled in my casket, or I guess strolling in to Outcast playing Roses Smell Like Poo Poo, whatever the fuck that song is. I could thoroughly enjoy it, and I would be going like this.
There would definitely be rap music at your wedding and at your funeral.
Yes.
And just like as you walk through the room.
Sorry, there was a big fucking ant.
The ants here in this, like, no joke, we have to at one point...
He was a thick boy. Did you see him?
I didn't see him, but I've seen the ants in the cemetery.
That's a raisin, too. Look at it. Wait.
I don't think that's a raisin. Don't touch that. We don't know what that is. But the ants are on crack here. They're giant, so if we
There he is.
Where is he? No, we gotta... Well, you can't see it. You don't want to see it. Okay, continue. What were you saying about your funeral before the ant attacked you?
So Outcast would be playing. I'd probably have, like, 7 people there, because I really don't like most people.
I would be there if I was still alive.
Yeah. Well, and then, so everyone would get goodie bags, and there would be a lot of hash browns.
How would this happen? Because I feel like you would have to prearrange. You'd have to have a team prearrange this, because...
Well, that's the thing.
If you're dead, how do you do it?
I guess I'm going to be hopeful and plan my wedding now.
Plan your wedding.
And then I'll have a will to someone to, like, take care of my shit when I'm gone.
Their job is to plan the funeral, and you have, like, the blueprints for the funeral. That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, everything's there. But, like, also, like, when you die, I guess your family chooses where your gravestone is, but wouldn't you rather have it somewhere like here, where it's super historical, and, like do you have to pick that too?
No, you can. You can actually buy a plot in a cemetery. You can... I don't know about this.
Is that morbid? Should we go do that?
No, I feel like we should definitely do that. We should find the location. There is an epic cemetery in Paris, and I can't... Even if I remembered the name, I couldn't say it.
It's not in my budget.
It is beautiful. It, like, goes on for miles, and they have, like, the full... I mean, it is... like mausoleums. It's so cool. That's where I would want to be buried, but I don't know that these older cemeteries like this, I think they're done. They're full. You can't be buried here.
There's open space right there. I'd be going on an incline because I never get sleep, so when they finally do, she's not fully resting, she's still kind of working.
They would bury you
so she's
in an upright position.
Dead, but there's still a file that needs to be sent.
The man in the background hammering, it's like he knew that we hit record, and he's like, I'm going to screw this up for you guys. So
it's okay.
It's fine.
We'll think of it as it's
like our beat?
It's someone knocking from the grave.
Okay.
We're
looking at the bright side of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so your funeral, you're going to be buried in a semi-upright position.
Yes, because
in this cemetery that we're in.
Probably.
What else?
Hash browns, Outcast, black. I would like to be buried with various items that mean a lot to me.
What are those items?
My Conair 1980s hairdryer that I've had in it. If you leave it on for too long, it sets on fire. So there's like a timed precision to it.
Is it one where if your hair gets too close, it gets sucked into the back and it like sucks your head in?
I just flip my face.
I know, there's a lot of bugs. Is like, it purple or lavender?
The coils turn red to the point where it's basically on fire after 2 minutes. But it means a lot to me because we've been through a lot together.
That is a fire hazard, and you should probably throw it away.
I would have harvest peas again.
Do you have the snacks? We went snack shopping before. And she bought the escape plan snacks.
I'm ready to die today, actually. So
Can you see these?
I just figured.
Snacks.
I prepare.
They're very delicious.
I have some of those. And then I just have my favorite Eyeliner on.
Would you, this is a good question. Would you, I like how I gave myself credit for my own question.
Thanks.
Would you have an open casket funeral?
No, I hate that shit.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I don't think I would either. I feel like
I don't like... Oh! He's on my face.
There's so many bugs.
Sorry, guys. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like it either. And they always say people in my family that have passed away have had open casket funerals. And I think it is, like, I get the idea of they're done up and you want to remember them. Like, I want my own memory. Mm-mm. I don't want a memory to be burned in my brain as, like, I was forced to see it rather than a memory that I remember where I was happy.
I think I'd want to be cremated, but I'd want to be cremated, and then instead of... No, this is my idea, too. So I would be cremated, and then my gravestone would look like a pizza box open, so all my shit would be in the open thing, and then the pizza would be... it would have my ashes in it. It would just be an open pizza box.
But in, like, something, not, like, loose ashes.
It would be, like, kind of like the kryptonite or whatever the fuck Han Solo was stuck in when he was like...
Carbonite.
Like, carbonite.
You were close. Kryptonite, Superman?
Yeah.
Carbonite, Han Solo.
It's been a rough morning. So I would do that, and I had a pizza box for it.
I mean, but you're in a container. So if, like, the gust of winds that come through, you don't, like, get on my face.
In it. It'd be like the special topping. And they're like, what's the topping of the day? Ashley...
Oh.
She's forever the topping.
She is forever that pepperoni topping.
Yeah. What would your funeral be?
I would, first of all, not want to be cremated. I definitely want to be buried in the earth and become the earth again. I want the bugs to eat me. You know how I feel. I love bugs.
I have so many people I know who've said that, and I don't know what the fuck that's about.
Because... What do you mean? It's the cycle of life. You're born, you live your life, and you die, and you're put back in the ground, and you become the earth. And you're basically the nutrients for the bugs and the earth.
We're already alive, and we hate the bugs on us.
There's so many bugs, and it's really unfortunate, and I'm very itchy, but it's fine. But I don't want, like, a fancy casket. Like, I don't want anything fancy. I just want, like, a wooden toe pincher coffin that's going to degrade in the earth. So the bugs can get to me and they can eat me and I can be their nutrients. And then my skeleton will remain in the earth. And how cool is that?
Bugs. It's like you eat them all day and then they're going to eat you.
Yeah. It's the cycle of life.
I don't like it.
Did you watch The Lion King, Cycle of Life?
It's not the same. It's not the same.
Cycle of life. Cameron comes in for this.
Hey, little girl. Is your brain on right now?
My brain is not on. There's a lot of, like, stimulation in the cemetery, but that's what happens when you go outside during the day.
There's sunlight.
Mm-hmm. Well, and originally we talked about doing this episode of the show at nighttime, but I've been here very many times before. This is my fourth year back here, and every time we've come here, it's nighttime, and it has rained. If you're in Massachusetts in the summer, you know that it's very humid, so it also is like a blanket, a wall of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
So last year when we were here, it was probably maybe 8 or 9 in the evening. It was late. It was dark. There's mosquitoes. They were biting me through my pants, and I probably had like 25 or 30 mosquito bites after that night.
Thinking about it.
There's
flashing my white leg right now. I'm getting itchy.
Cover that thing up.
Cover that, boy.
So, ideal funeral. You told me yours. Mine's simple. Like, I don't need a whole lot. I
feel like we say that too, but, like, I think so many people find us very enticing that when we die, people are going to throw a big rager.
There would be a celebration.
Like, we're going to be like, no, we're not. And then it's going to be like a national vamp day or something.
I hope so. I hope there's a party, a celebration.
I'm going to have, like, Ashley's harvest pea ceremony.
There's creepy treats.
Yeah.
There's, like, cupcakes, like black celebratory cupcakes with little cricket bodies in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's not die anytime soon. We haven't fully figured this out.
We have plenty of time. We have lots of things to do. We will we'll have to do, like, our escape plan. We'll have to do our funeral plan. Write that down.
Would you want to be, if you were to die, would you want to be a ghost that you could haunt people, or would you want to just, like, die into the earth and be what you said? Like,
I want to be into the earth. My spirit, I would love for my spirit to be like Vamp the friendly ghost, like Casper, and be like a nice little...
I'd be
like,
a bitch ghost.
I want to be the ghost for all the people that want to believe, that want to have some sort of, like, ghostly experience. I want to be that ghost. To be like, hey, you're not crazy. This is actually real.
I would literally go to everyone who makes me angry and I'd shut off their Wi-Fi.
You would be mean? Like, why would you be mean?
I'd be mean ghost because I, like, don't... It's just a good time to have revenge when you're invisible, eh?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, revenge of your enemies, that would be fun. Mm-hmm. Like, they wouldn't know it was you. You could, like, I would...
It would suck that I wouldn't be able to eat snacks.
But I feel like Who asked this question? I think Abe asked us this question on this trip earlier. Our friend Abraham is on this trip with us, and he asked, "What was the question? What would you?
Can I sell my snacks or something?" It was like, "What would you ask a dead person?"
Yeah, what would you ask a dead person? What would you ask a dead person?
If you can still eat snacks,
right? I think that's important.
And you can't. But like, how lame would it be to be a spirit and then watch all these living people eat like lobster rolls, and then you'd be like, "I can't have one."
We're gonna go have a lobster roll after this show is over, so I'm excited. Yeah, I feel like at that point, your stomach doesn't work anymore.
No shit, it's not there.
Thank you, Captain Obvious. But you don't have hunger pain, so that's not a thing that you would think about.
But would you have, this is going on a tangent, but like, would you have feelings where like, if you were to live in a house and you were haunting it and you watch these little bitch ass family eating their scrambled eggs, you'd be like, I want scrambled eggs, and then you get disgruntled and then you throw the eggs because you can't have them.
Yeah.
You want them.
I mean, I could see being a little upset about no snacks. But if I didn't have the feeling of hunger, I wouldn't care. I would find other things to use my energy or throw. Or I feel like I want to be that ghost, so that makes people know that ghosts are real.
I would love to be the farting ghost too.
You'd be the comedic relief. There's
Why
so
are they
many
not flying into your face?
I have lots of bug repellent things, and I have I call it my bug stick, and it's bug chapstick. It's like a chapstick.
You pulled it out of a nice restaurant.
I did.
Do you want my bug stick?
It's in my purse over there, but I put it on these right here, so the bugs don't.
They just fly directly into my.
We should have brought this. There's a citronella candle in the gazebo in the cemetery.
Oh
should have brought that.
Aww.
Okay, so we have our ideal funeral. Yours is a party with hash browns.
Yeah, it is. Outcast is playing.
You're buried upright. I am buried in a wood coffin. The bugs are going to eat me. I become one with the earth. My skeleton remains. I'm a ghost, but a friendly ghost.
And you're buried in Paris or something.
And I'm buried in Paris in the beautiful cemetery that I can't pronounce. What is it?
Père
Lachaise.
Ooh la la.
Ooh la la. And you're getting bit by bugs. Do you want my bug stick?
No.
Okay.
We don't need a live demo right now. We're hanging with the dead.
What about so I guess we would know how the ultimate end to our life would be, which is, again, very morbid, but when you're not, are you afraid of death?
I'm afraid of things in life that could potentially cause me to die. I am also afraid, my thing is, I'm afraid that I would die before I give everything that I can to the planet. Whether it be when I'm 40 or when I'm 80 or something, I would rather just know that I made the impact, but I don't really, I don't know. But, I do kind of think when I'm crossing the street, this could be it.
So you're afraid that you would go too early?
Yes. And I wouldn't see enough of the world. That's my fears. I wouldn't live enough.
Yeah.
And then I would die.
To experience the world.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we do things like this, where we're like, hey, let's go record in the cemetery.
We sit in the grass with bugs crawling up our pantaloons.
Look there's a giant, that's just a fly. They're everywhere.
They're just flies.
What would be your, I guess, I don't think that I'm afraid of death, but I feel like I definitely see where you're coming from. I'm afraid that there's a lot of things that I wouldn't accomplish.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've also done a lot of cool things, so that if today was my last day, I did some cool shit. I'm good.
You don't have to pay rent in the end of the month. Right? That's exciting.
Right. And I could roam free. Who would have all my stuff? I don't know, because I have a lot of things. You'd have to go to our apartment and go collect all the things.
I don't want them. I have too many couches.
You have a lot of couches.
I have my person to take my couches.
I would donate it to the next spooky person that wants our purple couch.
Well, maybe I'll take it. For
See?
sentimental value.
I just have to say that I'm going to give it away to someone else. She's like, never mind, I want it.
I'll take your shit.
What would be we're both slightly afraid of going too soon. I guess that's a good way to say it. What would be your worst fear of the worst way that you would imagine going? If that guy doesn't stop hammering, I swear to God, I'm going to go beat him.
He needs to chill.
He stopped. He could hear me.
You know what? I was thinking about this the other day, because I remember I told you something different, but then I have these situations that I laugh at my own jokes so hard that I get the hiccups, and sometimes the hiccups don't stop, and I'm drinking water in my kitchen alone, being like, this might be it, because it's how hiccups are, it's your heart stops briefly.
No. Does your heart
something stops? No.
Does your heart stop when you hiccup?
That's a sneeze.
Oh, that's a sneeze.
I'm good.
Hiccup, sneeze.
Well, I just have this fear that I'm going to laugh myself to death. Because I'm so funny.
Would that be really you're pretty funny.
It wouldn't be the worst, but it'd be the lamest, and I feel like that's lame.
So we have been on this trip. This marks day 4 or day 5?
Day 5.
Day 5.
Day 5.
This is day 5. I have never laughed so hard on one trip. Like the other day, we were laughing so hard, my face hurt. I was like massaging my cheeks.
What we were laughing about.
It was at dinner. I don't know what we were laughing about. It was probably something completely inappropriate in public.
Yeah.
It was massaging my face because it hurt so bad. I feel like I have abs, which is a good thing.
I didn't know if I had a digestional issue today or if it was that, because I like...
Either you have bubble gut and you have gas in the parts.
I usually have those all the time, but like I
or we're just really funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to say we're really funny but we've ate a lot of weird things, so it could be the
it's
other
probably
thing
me
too.
burping in public a lot too, where I'm just like, oh.
Well, we do it on the show all the time, and then we were at dinner the other night, and you just like,
I did it.
Belched
I did
out
it
loud
at
in the
I did it at like Joe's. I did it at like, where are we gonna do it today? The lobster
at the
roll
lobster
factory?
roll lunch, and then we kind of look at each other and realize, oh crap, not everyone is in our group and understands that we're just inappropriate in public.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, circle back. We're going on a tangent. Worst way to die.
Other than my own self-inducement?
Yes.
I would say a thunderstorm, because I don't like those.
Can we?
No!
We're going to circle back to maybe like 14 hours ago. We were
here.
We were walking through this, scouting the location. Not really. We were just here because...
You're feeding ducks.
Cameron and I were feeding ducks with a muffin. And so we're walking through the cemetery. There's like a little path straight ahead of me, actually.
There's a path on a hill, and you have to climb up that fucking hill.
You do. It's a little bit of
work.
work.
It's not easy.
There's a pond, and there was a mama duck and her babies. There's turtles.
And
there's
then
water.
There's me.
And we're walking. It's a beautiful day. There's a nice breeze. The clouds are rolling in. It's like a gray sky. It's beautiful. And then comes a crack of thunder. Ashley, what did you say? You're like, nope, I'm out.
I'm gone.
Nope, I'm gone.
I don't even remember who gave me the keys, but I fucking ran so hard. It was humid. I get back to the car, and I'm sitting in the car for like 20 minutes with the AC
it was
off.
longer. It was like 30 minutes. We got back to the car. She's sitting in the car. You didn't even think to turn on the car. It's sweaty. It's hot. And
I was sweating profusely from places that shouldn't be.
Right. But if you watched one of our previous episodes where we talk about natural disasters, we learned that you're afraid of thunder.
Yeah.
And I didn't really... I was like, oh, she's afraid of thunder, but I didn't really think
I have
you were
serious
afraid.
flight or flight.
That's not it either.
No, it is. Because there's
Fight
no
or
fight.
Flight.
No, it's
flight or
flight. Like, I just fucking fly away. I'm like, bitch, I'm gone. Give me the keys.
She took the keys, and we literally all turned our heads, and we're like,
where's
how
Ashley?
did she go?
I ran.
This hill behind us, like, we were way down there. We turned 3 seconds later. She is up the hill. She is gone.
I'm a runner.
Like a bat.
Joe.
Flying out of hell, straight to the car. We get to the car, and Cameron was like, why didn't you turn the car on? She's like, I don't even remember getting the keys. I don't remember being here.
I was like mentally drunk. It was crazy.
It was it was like a very small crack of thunder.
But the sky was brown or something.
It was gray.
Weird.
It was
weird.
the only crack of thunder, and she was like, I'm out. So
I don't want to be like that.
Would it be death by thunder?
Death by like a thunderstorm.
Death
so like
by
obviously
thunderstorm.
I'd get struck by lightning.
Oh,
George. Sorry.
You don't have to apologize.
Sorry, Dad.
This is our own show. We can do what we want. Yeah, you do apologize to the dead, though.
Sorry about my white ankles, too.
So I always had, like, I'm going to refer to my list because I always had my...
She's got her list ready of all the ways she doesn't want to die. So
right.
in case you get to pick, she would prefer these items.
We're gonna go back to the list.
It's like a menu.
It is. It's the 10 worst ways to die. But I thought in my mind, I was like, okay, I don't like extreme temperature. So if I were to die of, like, fire or if I would freeze to death, both of those things
I would love to freeze to death.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that would be...
Don't get any ideas, people.
Freezing to death, I feel like over burning to death would be better because if you freeze, eventually you just kind of like comatose and you just go to sleep. It's probably not very comfortable, but burning to death...
Like the sun right now in my eyes?
I know, that's why I keep putting we gotta hide from that.
Burning to death is not fun.
So I was thinking, okay, if the worst way to die would be burning to death or freezing to death, one of those like temperature types of things. But then I referred to this list of the 10 worst ways to die, and I was like,
shitting to death would suck.
As I continued to go through the list, I was like, wow, that's way worse than the thing that I thought. So,
wait, have you read the whole list?
Yes.
Are they very obvious ways?
Some of them are very obvious. So maybe we go through the list and we rate what, because it's 10 worst ways to die, but I feel like...
Because I feel like skin-eating bacteria would be one.
The cicadas are very...
They know.
I feel like they're cheering us on, though. They're like, we like this part. Keep going.
Go.
Okay, so this is just a random website. I don't actually know what it is because it's got a lot of ads on it. But it says, the 10 worst ways to die. The number 10 is starve to death. And I didn't think of that one.
That would suck.
I feel like that is more intense than burning or freezing.
Because it's slow.
Yeah. And we know how much, our bags are full of snacks right now.
I can't go like 2 minutes without a little something.
So starve to death is number 10 on their list. We'll go through them and then I think...
Which is a real world issue too. Like people do that every day and that sucks. If I could feed the world of all the things I have in my purse, I would.
We would share our snacks with everyone.
That was Mary Poppins.
Okay, number 9 is adrift at sea. That would suck too.
Adrift on a boat or just drifting like paddling?
Well,
I can't swim.
This one is a photo of like a lot of people that look like construction workers in a what do you call them? A dinghy?
A boat?
Yes, it is a boat, but it's one of the things that is it a dinghy on the side of the ships? Yeah, it looks like a raft. It's a dinghy.
A dinghy full of dingleberries.
It's full of dingleberries.
With their head coach, Dingus.
Okay, so they're actually not in construction gear. They're in life vests, which is what you wear.
Shit.
Okay, so they don't look like they're going to be adrift at sea. They look like they have boxes of food and water. But
they're good.
And hats. What do you call those?
Respectable.
Construction?
Yeah. Dunce caps.
No, the hats that you have when you're in construction.
Construction hats. Hard hats.
Hard hats.
Yeah.
We're going to replace Ashley's hat with a bigger hat to block the sun. Oh, yeah, that's good. Cut your
nose. Am I look like
nose.
a pilgrim now?
No, you look like a Western rocker cowboy. I love it. I dig it. Okay, so number 10 was starving to death. Number 9 is adrift at sea. But when you think of being adrift at sea, that means you're in the sun. Unless your dinghy has like an awning, which they don't. You may or may not have food or water. So being adrift at sea...
That could be an infomercial. Does your dinghy not have an awning? Would you like to have a dinghy?
Does your dinghy not have food or water? So adrift at sea, you would starve to death. You would die of dehydration because you can't drink the ocean water.
I have plenty of.
You have a tiny little bottle.
But I don't drink water, remember?
You don't drink water. You drank one whole bottle of water in 3 days. I was very proud of you, but I'm also very concerned for you.
My colon. Sponsor me, some doctor. Fix my
With
colon.
Water?
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like adrift at sea is worse than starving to death because you're going to... Well, you could fish.
I would love to drift at sea.
In a dinghy?
Yeah.
But in the sun?
No.
No. Okay, wait, that's number 9, so we have to go back to number 8.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Ocho, as they say in other countries.
Ocho. In Spanish.
Espanol.
Fall into a volcano.
Oh, I could feel like so many Instagrammers would probably do that and be dumb and like...
For the photo op?
Yeah, they'd be like, look at my foot right next to the lava, and the lava would just suck them in. And it's like, now I'm part of the lava. Oh my God. Hashtag lava life. I'm a lava lamp. I'm a lava vamp. That could be you.
I'm a lava vamp. No, I'm not that stupid. I do not want to die in a... Ow, my leg is getting... I'm rearranging.
This is hard when we're not on our plush couch.
I'm on a rock.
I'm on a boat.
We're doing this for... We're on a dinghy.
I'm on a boat.
Death by lava, no.
No.
But I think still, I would say out of those 3, adrift at sea is still the worst to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, next is number 7.
Death from McDonald's?
No, it has a picture of mountains, but then it says sacrificed, !
Oh!
I don't know. Oh, I guess human sacrifice in the mountains, but human sacrifice.
Well, no, any human sacrifice.
Any human sacrifice.
Like even, never mind. I thought I had a story, but
I was like,
I thought I had a cool story, but then I realized I didn't.
Human sacrifice, it depends. Are we doing like...
I think it would be some sort of like
blood sacrifice.
Yeah, it'd be like a satanic motherfucker.
But is it quick? Is it like, you're done? Or is it like bleed you out? It's going to take a while?
It would be a bleed out. Because then there's a difference between murder and sacrifice.
So sacrifice is like a ritual.
Yeah, they like string you to a wall and they light a candle and they go bleed out.
I don't want that.
I would not recommend it.
The song sounds fun.
Yeah, they play like Mary Poppins soundtrack.
Like it's fun and joyful.
Chimney, chick, chick, pick, pick, pick.
And they pick you with I just imagine like a
like a fork.
like a quilting needle.
Yeah. No, a fork, because they're like feasting on the dead.
That doesn't sound fun, but I still feel like
I wonder if their lighting would be like cinematic though.
That would be faster than adrift at sea, because if you're in a dinghy in the ocean and
how do you take a dump on a dinghy?
You'd probably go to the bathroom in the ocean. You don't go to the bathroom in the dinghy because you have to live in that dinghy. But a human sacrifice would be much quicker than...
But you are more mentally... Like, I feel like if I was stranded on a dinghy, I'd have more time to contemplate my life. If I was getting human sacrifice, I would be so filled with, like, crazy emotions that I would just, like, not even... It would be a shit death.
But you don't have a choice for the human sacrifice, whereas in the dinghy, you could choose to be like, hey, Jaws, eat me, and then you can just
call him out by name. It's like Uber. Yeah. I prefer Jaws. He has a 5-star rating. Not Jimmy.
No,
Jaws. He has small teeth. I like big chompers.
Big Jaws. Straight to the point. You could technically go
One
out
bite.
Quickly. On your own terms.
Yes.
Not by someone tying you to a wall, poking you with the fork.
Yep.
Human sacrifice. Because that's how human sacrifices work, in case you were wondering.
I wonder if there are actually a lot of those, though, like statistically.
6. This is a doozy. Plane crash.
Oh, I hate... Oh.
Yeah.
I think that one...
I think so far that one probably takes the cake.
Yeah.
Because we go on planes a lot.
I still go on a plane sometimes. I'm at the airport and I just think, I'm like, how does this carry so much of my luggage? And it's only 40 pounds of luggage. And I'm like, wait, it's carrying like thousands of pounds of humans and shit.
And each of those humans gets, if you're flying Southwest, you get 2 free check bags. So at 50 pounds. So that's 100 pounds of baggage per person.
Yeah.
Plus our bodies.
Plus my thick body.
And the snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's...
Like, it makes no sense, but here we are.
Instant plane crash, like if we were crashing into something instantly and I knew I was going to die, but if I knew it was going to be long and tragic, or I'm stuck on an island with strangers.
I actually never listen to them too when they say the thing about the mask, and I just tune it out. So like if we were to be in a crisis,
you wouldn't know what to do?
I wouldn't know where the life vest is. I wouldn't know what to do.
The life vest is under your seat.
Yeah,
the mask drops from the overhead, and please put your own mask on before helping others.
Yeah,
so you don't suffocate to death before I could help you.
I would just start singing a song.
Well, I know who I don't want to sit next to on the plane ride, because you're not going to help me. You're going to be like,
help myself.
Help myself. Plane crash is a number 6 on the list, but I feel like that is
more of like a number 3 for me.
I feel like that's more like a number 1 for me, because I go on planes a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I'd want it to be something...
I'm more afraid of car crashes.
Yeah.
Because there's some stupid drivers.
That's true. And we're in cars more often than we
are
in
LA.
Planes. Yeah. And LA is definitely full of stupid drivers.
Is car crash on the list?
We're on number 5, and I haven't seen it yet, so maybe it's sooner. Number 5 is eaten by animals. And it has a picture of a cheetah.
I've never feared that.
I've never feared that either. But I've also never put myself in front of a cheetah or a lion or anything that an elephant. But I don't think they would purposely try to...
There was this video, and it went viral, of these people on a safari, and they were like literally driving backwards.
I saw that one.
And the elephant was freaking out, and he would not. He was like with his giant tusk, like he could literally decapitate you, essentially.
So here's my thing with safaris is I saw that video, and then when you click on the Instagram video and you watch something like that, and it's like a stream of ones that are similar. So the next one that came up was it was one of the safaris you drive through, and you're supposed to stay. It's like a trail, essentially like a walking trail, but you're in your car. You're supposed to stay. There's signs. Please stay in your car. So it's a family, and there was a wife, a husband, and some kids. And if you've seen the elephant video, you've probably seen this video where I think they're cheetahs are chasing them.
No.
But they're not necessarily chasing them in the sense that I'm chasing you, I'm going to eat you. Like you can tell that they're chasing them, like warning them to like, hey, this is my turf. Get the hell out of here. Yeah. But I also am a firm believer in if you're that stupid, we probably don't need you on this planet. Yeah. That's very harsh, but I feel like it's true.
But we have a lot of traffic. So
we do. We have a lot of people.
One less human.
But you're right. I've never feared that, but I'm also not like, hey, let's go on a safari and go like stand with all the wildlife and feed them crackers. Even though I fed ducks yesterday, that's very
actually
different.
Be more afraid to be bitten by a tick.
We thought we saw a tick earlier, and
I'm just blind. It was just a small.
Bugs. Yeah. I feel like there's bugs everywhere.
We're going to have to take a shower
on my rock. Okay, so
that was
eaten alive by an animal. We're not afraid of.
No.
We're gonna. Oh, this one said hyenas can hold their own. Hyenas are so
no
cute,
shit.
though.
That's why you carry a taser.
So next one is crushed to death, and it's a picture of an elephant.
also, like, I remember living in Seattle and there were so many cranes lifting shit that I was afraid that, like, a crane would fall or they drop something and they drop it on me. And, like, that's the more crushing to death thing.
Crushed to death would be pretty harsh. But it would be, depending on how heavy and how quickly, I feel like crushed to death would be pretty quick. I mean, in the description, crushed
I feel like
to death.
people are laughing at us over there.
There's some strangers off in the distance laughing.
They don't know what we're talking about.
Crushed to death I've never feared because I've never really thought about it.
I've never thought about it either.
Crushed to death by an elephant would be very unfortunate because I love elephants. And I actually watched a Dumbo on the flight over here, and it was very cute and very sad. And if I got crushed to death by elephants, I'd be dead, so it wouldn't matter, but that would suck.
I don't think about it.
Okay, crushed to death, we're taking off the list. We don't care about that one either. What was the one before that we did care? Eaten alive by animals.
Yeah.
Crushed to death, we don't. Okay. Oh, number 3, freeze to death.
I wouldn't mind that.
Our hotel room is also it's the Arctic. I sleep with my pajamas and this giant puffy sweater that I'm sitting on right now, and I'm like encased in a sleeping bag of warmth because you guys want it like the Arctic, and I don't like it.
I love it. Freeze me.
But again, so crazy freezing stories, and I forget where this was. Was it in New York where the girl was frozen and then she was like preserved and she woke up the next day, or Canada. So we were Chainsaw Leatherface is back for the background.
He's friendly though. That's my biggest fear.
Death by Leatherface.
Pretty much.
By that man, we can see him.
Yeah.
But
his khakis are full of secrets.
He's providing the background for the ambiance for this show. So in Canada, and I forget which province or which area of Canada it was in, there was a girl who was coming back from a party. And she passed out. She was drunk. She passed out in the front of like her home or her apartment complex, whatever, into the snow, and she froze. But they found her and they took her to the hospital and they thawed her out and she lived. Like, how does?
Well, when you think about your organs, I guess it's if they're preserved to a point where they're still gonna function and not fully frozen.
Yeah.
Like if they're fully frozen to the point where they're just shot.
Right.
And they just stop. But like.
I think it was the amount of time it took her to freeze. It was so cold that she froze, like being flash frozen.
Yeah.
She froze so fast that I guess it would be similar to being cryogenically frozen.
Like Dippin' Dots.
Right. You would be flash frozen so fast that it would be preserved rather than freezing to death over like 5 days. Then you would basically be frostbitten and black-lunged.
I wouldn't mind that.
I feel like your organs would turn black and it wouldn't work.
Like my organs are already black.
I'm not down with being frozen to death.
I'm down.
You're okay? Okay, so that goes, I think that goes in the list for me that's like plane crash, frozen to death. What's the next one? Number 2 is torture. And I guess this is like, it doesn't really say what kind of torture. So this could be like long torture. This could be like waterboarding. It could be torture sleep deprivation, many different things. I, in my life, don't want to be tortured.
Like being taken to like Filene's or JCPenney's.
Forced to shop in Macy's.
Pleated pants. White.
Torture comes in many shapes and forms.
It does.
We would have to wear white.
Drinking water.
Drinking water is not torture. That is life. That's what they call living. Torture, I would say, is probably up there with plane crash, frozen to death.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to be tortured. That's not fun. It's
There's
human sacrifice.
One crazy person.
I mean, some people are into that.
We all know one crazy person where, like, I feel like I do at least, where I would be like, if they snapped, they would do some fucked up shit.
But they would be the torturer, not the torturee.
Yeah, which is why I'm like, I'm not being homies with you.
Yeah.
And you don't know where
You're
I
like,
live.
I see the crazy in your eyes.
You can follow me on Instagram, but
No. There's also now...
That's a respectable scare.
Yeah, torture, I feel like... Well, that's number 2. The number 1 is not, like... We're going to have to add our own to this list, because this is not... It's number 1 is to die of embarrassment.
You can't die of embarrassment. Yeah. Wait, no, this is like a joke list. That's bullshit.
I mean, all of the other ones were... Okay,
what does it say?
Okay, so first, yes, it's possible to die from actual embarrassment. When stress or anxiety rise, which accompany embarrassment, a surge of adrenaline enters the bloodstream that could kill you. It's for this reason that people can undergo cardiac reaction from just embarrassment, but fright or even sexual response. So essentially you can die from embarrassment, you can die from excitement, you can die from sex, but it's not necessarily dying from... it's dying from the heightened state of like, people that have heart attacks and die after having sex.
Yeah.
Because like they're essentially so aroused.
I wouldn't know what that's like.
I mean, nobody wants to die from it, so that's a good thing. But
don't people die from broken hearts too? That's what I heard. That's at the opposite spectrum, where you're just slowed down and you're just so broken.
Yeah, and I think like all of those things, people say you die from a broken heart. You die from. I've never heard die from embarrassment, but apparently that made the list.
Never heard dying from sex either. But
you've never how many movies have like there's people having sex and then the person dies and they have a heart attack?
Like one.
Well, I mean, there's a lot, but I can't think of any of them right now.
See?
But there is a lot. But I wouldn't want to die from any of those things.
I have like so many other ones I could think of that would just like dying from like food poisoning, where you love food so much, but
like
it
our
backstabs
guacamole
you. Yeah,
episode.
like if you had like the most dankest sushi, but the sushi was tainted and you just died from the sushi.
That would suck.
That would suck because it's like being
suck.
backstabbed, and that's a different torture.
You're like, I love you so much. I paid an overpriced amount of money, and you killed me.
I would like flesh-eating bacteria. That would freak me out. Like any type of bacterial.
Bacteria.
Yeah.
It's so there's flesh-eating bacteria, and it's like will turn the skin black, and it basically rots and falls off. But there's also and I know how you feel about bugs, but it's the violent spider brown recluse, right? That is the flesh-eating, and it basically bites you and then does the same thing. Like their skin will turn black and start falling off. And if you don't get the anti-venom? Is there something they can treat it with? Everyone is like, meh, yeah. I'm pretty sure that there's something that they can treat it with. It will stop it, but if it's like the flesh is gone, they have to do the skin grafts, and like hopefully it's not too late. To me, so in our hotel room, they had a book. No, there was no brown recluse in the hotel room.
That's why the Bible was missing.
I shielded you from the terror of the hotel room. So we were making a tea last night, and there was a book on the shelf, and it was called Wicked Plants, which it was fitting because we were in Boston. Mm-hmm. Everyone says wicked. But it was basically like a book of poisonous plants. So I asked the person working there, what do you call them? Concierge. I was like, hey, can I borrow this? And he kind of looked at me like,
is you crazy?
Yeah, sure. And so I took it up to the hotel room, and it was essentially like a book of just names of plants and what they would do to you. Yeah. But with each plant, it had a story of a person like that we know of, or someone in history that has been affected by this plant. And I think I only got through like 10 of the A plants because it's in alphabetical order. But to me, that is an awful way to die.
Yeah, it would suck. I also I did a whole school project on poisonous frogs. And they're so pretty.
Yeah, and you're like,
they can
how
kill
cute.
you. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, and these plants were like, it was unfortunate because all the pictures were in black and white, but it was very descriptive. And there was this one plant, and it had the proper names of everything, and I don't remember the proper name. But it was a blue flower, beautiful blue flower, but it basically would cause like paralysis, and you would suffocate to death. And it wasn't even like, obviously you're not going to be like, oh, this is a beautiful leaf, I'm going to eat it. It was by touch. Like you could just touch it and the toxins would absorb into your body and you would die.
It was like poison.
It's a poisonous plant, but the thing is, it also says like, don't just go and say like, oh, these berries look yummy, let me taste them. That's also stupidity, and you probably are like, you're going to go out another way if it wasn't for the berries.
I would be also afraid of someone just poisoning my drink or something with arsenic. Just someone being like a douchebag.
Yeah. Poison. I think poison to death would be amazing, but there's also a yellow jacket by your hand. Don't hit it.
Where? Where's he?
Cameron's laughing at you, and I saw it, and I didn't want to say anything.
Why are they only like fucking with me, the big boys?
Because I put the bug stick on.
I'm telling you. I literally feel like I have a bug in my underwear right now, but I'm trying to hold it together. But he's tingling.
I mean,
I hope that's what that is.
Just clench your butt cheeks and squish them.
It's not on my butt area.
Oh, well, then you're screwed.
Uh-oh.
We're almost done. We're wrapping up soon. Okay, so what else on your list? Because poisonous
what are
plants.
Those waves that like pull you in?
Riptide?
Yeah, riptides.
Or rip current?
Rip current. Whatever that freaks me out.
The ocean.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of the ocean. I am not very...
I can't swim.
Oh, I forgot about that.
I don't remember to use both arms and legs. I just do one or the other.
So you can't like tap your head.
I'm trying to learn. I like lost my mojo.
We'll do a swimming lesson. That would be fun. We have a pool. We can swim.
Where?
And just stay in the shallow end.
Fine. Oh,
yeah?
Fine. Yeah, but riptides freak me out.
I'm afraid of the ocean. So
I'm afraid of like I feel like it's relevant to society now, but I'm afraid of like a mass shooting.
Oh,
That
God.
scares me.
That's terrifying.
Sometimes I'm out in public and I'm just like, it could be like... And I think that's just me being paranoid, but like that's such a prevalent thing right now that scares me.
Right. And things that, I mean, I guess all of these things are technically out of your control. Nobody was going to be like, oh, that is a dangerous situation. Let me walk right into it. But the fact that it's other people and you're like...
And you have nothing to do with it.
You have nothing to do with it. And like, if you're on a plane, I guess you're going on a plane.
You paid for that flight.
You paid for that flight. And there's always a chance that something electronic or like mechanical, there's always a chance that something could go wrong. So I guess when you buy that plane ticket, you're like, hey, maybe I could die, but I'm choosing to jump on this plane. If you're like, hey, I'm going to go to this festival that is to have fun, and then something horrible happens that is out of your control, that is awful. And yeah, that would be a terrible way to go.
So those are my top ones.
There was one that I was thinking of as I was going through the list.
These ants are getting very close.
They're getting very, as they get closer,
Look at them all.
they're getting bigger. Go away, friend. We don't want you here.
Get out of our swamp, as Shrek would say.
There was another one that I was thinking of, and I thought it would be on the list. Buried alive.
I don't fear that because I don't know any sick fucks that would do that to me.
Well, but that's the whole thing. Is it's not like someone would do it to you on purpose. It was like,
well, they just accidentally bury you alive. Like they dump a pound of dirt on you, and be like, "Whoopsie-doopsie, whoopsie-doo. There we go.
Throw her in the box.
Have
Close
a good
it up."
day.
So we did a Ghosts and Gravestones trolley tour the other day, and they were talking about, we went through a lot of cemeteries, and they were talking about the things that they used to do to prevent people from being buried alive. And the common ones that we know of were they put the bell. And they did that in one of the latest episodes of The Conjuring. Was it a Conjuring episode? Where they have the bells, and the theory is that if you're buried and you were still alive, you would ring the bell, and the gravekeeper would hear the sound, and they would basically unbury you.
Wow.
But
how nice of them.
They said, then he was like, as the guy was doing the tour, he was telling us all of the flaws with that. And he's like, what if it's a windy day, like right now? The bells would ring, and all the bells would be going off, and they wouldn't know who is dead or who is alive.
Yeah.
And then there was another theory of there was a tube, right? There was a tube that would go basically from the ground down to your casket. And if you were alive, you could put your mouth to that tube and you could yell and say, hey, I'm still alive. Yo, I'm not dead. Come get me out of here. But then they said, well, what if it rains? Well, then your tube gets full of water and you frickin' drown to death. Drowning was not on the list.
Why?
That would
Neither
be
was
awful.
car crash.
Neither was car crash.
And I feel like you're in your car so much.
Who
Who made this list? And who put diving of embarrassment as number one?
Whoever. Her name was Kate. I don't remember her last name, but Kate, you have a
read
really
up
bad
on
list.
your facts.
Drowning to death would be awful.
Yeah.
We talked about the ocean earlier.
I was like freaking out when Cameron held his breath under the fucking tunnel for a minute.
Oh my God.
And I was like, well, actually,
I would drown to death.
I couldn't even hold it in the mini tunnel.
We went through the tunnels, and when you go through the tunnel and you're like, hold your breath, make a wish. But we're in Boston, and the tunnels are not like the LA tunnels that are like you could see the light at the end of the tunnel. It was long. It was like a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Easily.
It was crazy.
I tapped out at like 25 seconds. I was like, I'm done.
I was busy.
You're like, I'm doing work right now on my phone. He held his breath the whole time. So he probably wouldn't drown to death as fast as I would. But he also tried to teach me how to surf. And why are people yelling? There's so many people yelling. We're in a cemetery. Shh.
Respect the dead, assholes.
Show some respect.
Show some respect.
Rude. So he was teaching me how to surf. And I'm afraid of the ocean, like, I would say 60% fear. Like, I'm not, like, deathly afraid, but I don't really care for it. Like, I love the ocean, but it
I don't like
frightens
things
me.
touching me.
That you can't see, right? So there's waves, and the waves, I swear to God, were probably, like, this tall, maybe, like, 2 feet? Not even. Like, if I stood up, I'm taller than the wave, but you're on a surfboard, so you're laying flat, and it feels so big. Like, it feels so
like
giant.
You feel like you're gonna drift.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna die. And I rode, so he's like, okay, now paddle, now stand up and go. And it was a longboard. So the first wave, I like nailed it. I stood up, I rode the wave the whole way in, and I actually like walked off the board at the end. And I was like, that's it. Like, this is the whole hype of surfing. For the next like hour and a half, I just got pummeled. there was so many times where I was like water shoved down my throat and I couldn't breathe, and I was like, this is the worst sport ever. I don't want to do this ever again. And all I was feeling is I was drowning for 2 hours.
And that's why I stick to mini golf.
And that's why we stay on land.
That's why we do ping pong and we call it a day and we play Mario Kart.
So I think drowning probably for me would be worse than a plane crash or a volcano. Yeah, I don't want to drown to death.
Yeah, and I don't want to.
I'd rather be buried alive and like slowly run out of
don't
air.
really want to die right now. I'm good.
Yeah, we don't want to
Watch
die.
us have like epic turbulence on our next flight.
I know,
and
we're
we
gonna
just
be panicked.
We're like, this is it. It was the pre-shadow. We shouldn't have shot in a graveyard. It was like foreshadowing us.
We
being
get in a
next.
plane in how many days? In 2 days.
2 days. Mm-hmm.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
We won't die. We're good.
Um.
Give me the Doritos.
Oh. So on this portion of creepy treats, we have no bugs. But we have a
got
giant
Cool
bag
Ranch.
of cool. Here, hold. Teamwork. Oh, no. Doesn't need my help. She's got it.
Time.
This is also
This is also ASMR.
This is ASMR, but this is also bag number 4 on day number 5.
We haven't even gotten through day 5 yet.
We're on still day 4.5, and this is bag number 4.
Because you guys always want to eat when I don't want to eat. And then when I want to eat, this is in the car.
And then Ashley has eaten half the bag of Doritos. Cameron woke up this morning and was like, who left the crumbs in the corner of the Dorito bag? And Ashley's like, me. So then what did we do? We went to the store and bought another one. I can't really eat with my
But I
Teeth
prefer
them.
the folded ones.
the
Very specific. Because
the folded ones are better because they're crunchier.
And then, like, if I were like a person of little professionalism, because I was like, good.
They call them the rolled ones are the Takis, right? But they're usually
I just put them in my mouth.
they're usually spicy. But I do in the bag. Let me find my favorite kind.
On this
Kinda
episode,
like these ones,
yes,
where they're folded in half.
they're like
Ooh,
a
this
little,
one right
they're
here.
like a love letter from your loved one.
This
And
is
when
a
you
better
put it
one.
in your mouth, you're like, ooh.
Doritos needs to make a bag that's full, like just half folded Doritos, because they're better. They're crunchier.
This will be gone in an hour.
Yeah, we're gonna need to get bag number 5 before day 5 is over.
I wonder if the dead are pissed they didn't, like some of the older ones from the 1600s over there, like they didn't get Doritos.
They didn't get to
see us right now.
experience
No,
Doritos.
this is a double.
Oh, that's a double folded one.
Yeah.
Oh, we have visitors.
Oh.
We have a friend. Hi, buddy. Hi. Hi. Welcome. Goodbye. He joined us and then he left.
Just like everyone in my life.
Oh no. But your Doritos will be with you forever.
I know. Well, the bag will be here for like 2 more hours and I'll eat it.
So we talked about ideal funeral, worst ways to die. We went through that list, which was awful, but we made the list better. How do you want to go out? We'll end this whole. We'll circle back with how would
how
you?
do I want, like, my ideal death?
Yeah. How do you want to go out?
Like, food. Like, I want to just eat a shit
You want
ton
to
of
eat
food.
yourself to death.
Like, well, that's triggering because I've tried that. But I
And it clearly didn't work out for you.
I would just like to be in a comfortable place. I guess, I don't know. It'd be like a comfortable prison, I assume. I'd just, like, be in a house.
You want to be in prison.
Like, I would just know that I'm going to die because I'm old. I expect that I'm going to die when I'm old.
You want to
like,
you want to live
now.
a full life.
I'm going to live a full life. I'm going to be old. My teeth are probably going to be brown or whatever. And I'm like,
Dentures.
I just want some food. And so I'm going to be, like, laying in a nice, luxurious bed. And, like, I'll just start, like, Postmates getting things. And then I'd just, like, just turn into this blob.
So you're old. You've
Or
lived
I'd love to, like, die, like, Titanic style. Like, with someone who really fucking loves me or
Adrift
something.
at
And then
sea?
just blow off the side of the
That's
thing.
adrift
Yeah.
at sea.
I would, well, like, I feel like emotionally I'd rather, like, have it be epic.
So you want like a tragic
I want an
story.
epic.
You want them to have.
I want a Romeo and Juliet. Well, wait, no, they kill.
Yeah, that's.
I just want a warm hug and a nice death that's easy.
You're
and
an old
slow.
lady with a warm hug. You're full. You had a full dinner, and you go
I
to
just want
bed.
to be loved.
Um,
This one has a chip inside of it.
you're getting all the good. I can't have my teeth in, and I can't eat them. I'll eat them after.
Mm.
For me, I would like to have lived a full life, be old, because I
Mm-hmm.
guess you would be old if you lived a full life. Be in my warm, comfortable memory foam bed with all my animals.
Wait, no, my mattress was from Amazon.
Yeah, you need to get a new mat. You need to upgrade that mattress. Comfy mattress, warm, not in the Arctic, not cold, comfortable temperature. I would like to close my eyes.
A lukewarm room.
A lukewarm
Chicken
room.
noodle soup from Panera.
Oh my God, my favorite chicken noodle soup from Panera with like a bagel because I love bagels.
A bagel.
A bagel, as they say
bagel.
here. And I would like to close my eyes, drift away into a nice, comfortable sleep, and not wake up.
Legit.
Right? Mm-hmm. Calm, painless, fulfilling. And also, one important thing is leave an impact on the earth. I don't want to go out with, like, just bye. I want to have left a good impact on the earth.
I know.
So, it's not a lot to ask.
No,
I feel like we're on the path.
We're on the path. We're literally on a path.
To our perfect death.
Yes. We're on a path in a graveyard, so that's setting the stones for
we
our
are
path to
actually on a
perfect death.
path in a graveyard.
Yeah.
So that's going to do it for us for this episode of Let's Get Spooky. I'm Leanna Vamp.
And I'm Ashley.
And you can watch full videos of our episodes at letsgetspooky.com. You can also download us on iTunes and listen on Spotify. So with that, we will end with a cheers.
With Cool Ranch.
Cheers with the Cool Ranch Doritos. And with that, we pay our respects to everyone in the cemetery. Thank you for letting us use this as our set for the day. I'm going to put that back.
Wait, what?
It was like, you can have it later. It's fine. I didn't, like, lick it or anything. I just bit it. So thanks for watching, Fiends. And don't forget to stay spooky. Bye.